This is how to actually level up the skill of dating. See, what you gotta understand is that dating is one large thing, and there's many sub skills that go into the larger skill of being good at dating. If you wanna treat dating like a skill and level it up, you also have to level up all the sub skills within it that are gonna allow you to be good at dating as a whole. So, what we're gonna be diving into is the hierarchy of skills and character traits that you need to develop as a man if you want to be good at dating. Okay, so this is the hierarchy of skills. We're going to be starting off with number one, which is the most important, is confidence. You need to have confidence within dating. This is so essential. When I was younger, I didn't have confidence. In high school, I literally had a couple girls, not many, but like two or three, that were giving me very clear signs that they liked me, but I didn't have the confidence to ever act on it, so I never did anything. But now, I don't even need any signs. I just see a girl that's attractive and I go and talk to her and see what happens. And if it doesn't go well, it doesn't go well. It doesn't affect me at all. I don't care. And this is why it's the most important thing. If you don't have it, it's going to make dating very difficult for you. This is why I built you boys a free confidence transformation guide teaching you every step I took to develop my confidence and become the man I am today. And it's completely for free. That's the first link in the description below. You can grab that right now. And the next thing that you need to develop is going to be your communication, verbal plus nonverbal. See, when I was younger, I struggled to talk to girls. I didn't know what to say. I didn't have any feel for how to communicate as a whole. And my body language was also really bad. I would always self-soothe, play with a zipper, do things like that that made me look insecure, that took away from my charisma. And now, as you can see, I hold very strong posture. I speak with my hands. If someone else is speaking, I would sit still and listen. These are such important things, and you can clearly tell that I can communicate verbally too. I'm doing it on camera now. I don't know what else I can do besides all the stories I tell you guys. But this is so essential. Communication has been one of the keys that I've been developing year after year, taking on sales jobs, just reading new books, learning as a whole. And it's taught me so much, and every year I get better and better with girls because I'm getting better at communication. So it's just absolutely essential that you learn this. The next thing is going to be looks. I hear it all the time in the comments. Oh, you're a Chad or something. I'm 5'7", so that takes away from my height a little bit. And sure, do I have a good face? I would say so, right? And I've also developed this body. This is earned, not given. And looks is absolutely essential. You need to get your looks dialed in. The most important things you can be doing is getting into the gym and optimizing your style, taking care of your face, making sure you have a face wash, make sure you don't have too much acne, you either rock a clean shave or a really well-maintained beard, and find a haircut that works for you. That's the things that you need to prioritize for looks. This is important for getting your foot in the door with girls. Now, this one is really important. Emotional and social intelligence. So I was in Norway, and the first girl I hung out with, we were talking about what's attractive, and she said that emotional and social intelligence is the most attractive thing to her. And the thing is, when you have emotional and social intelligence, you're actually going to be a better communicator, you're going to be more confident because that didn't happen. Because you can read the room and you can really understand people's cues, you can understand how they're feeling and respond accordingly. Now, charisma is underneath this one because if you don't have the emotional and social intelligence, it's going to be very hard for you to be charismatic. But charisma is so, so important. Charisma, charm, having these characteristics is going to make girls fall in love with you. If you don't have charisma, if you're always talking about yourself, if you don't know how to make other people feel good and want to be in your presence, then it's going to be very difficult for you to attract girls. Now, physical mastery. This is you becoming the best version of yourself in all areas of your life. I kind of should have included mental too. Internal. This is just mastery of self, because this is the thing. When I was younger, I didn't have anything besides this body. I didn't have any of the character traits or any of the development that I do now, and I seriously struggled. But when I started reading books every single day, I started meditating, I started gratitude journaling, I started to learn about myself as a whole, then I started to get better with girls, because how do you expect to have emotional and social intelligence, good communication, if you don't even understand yourself, if you're not even the best version of yourself, if you can't even understand your own emotions, if you can't take care of yourself on a daily basis, have the motivation to go to the gym or the discipline to go to the gym, you're not going to be as attractive as the person who is. So that's very important. Now, mystery. You don't want to be telling girls every single thing about yourself right off the bat. You need to keep things a little mysterious. One thing I love to do with this current business that I have, it's a dating coaching business, and I don't say that. I just say sales. I do sales. And if they ask specific questions, which some girls don't, they'll just be like, okay, cool. And if they don't ask follow-up questions, I don't say anymore. I let them wonder what it is. And if they ask a follow-up question, I'll just say, I sell a lot of different things. I get leads for different programs. Sometimes it's fitness programs, different things like that. Whatever they give me is what I take the call for and sell them. And I say something like that, and they're like, okay, cool. So he takes calls with different programs online. Okay. Like, they don't really know still. It's like I kind of just diverted the question. So they're still wondering. They don't really know what I do. And assertiveness. And now, one thing to say too, these are in order, but at a certain point, there's situations which these are going to be higher ranking in, right? Where like assertiveness is very important if you're trying to cold approach a girl. So take these with a grain of salt in terms of like their importance. They're all very important. These are all skills that you need to have. So just take it with a grain of salt. But assertiveness is very important. Boldness. When I go and see a girl that I like or I make eye contact with a girl, the first thing I do is I start walking over to her and talking to her. That's assertiveness. When I see the opportunity for a kiss, I go and grab the girl and kiss her. These are traits of assertiveness that you need to have, and girls will find it attractive. Authenticity. Now, this one's actually going to tie into confidence, because you need to have confidence to be your authentic self. I was on a date with a girl in Norway, and it was probably one of the best dates I went on, and we were talking about the kinds of music that we like, and I said I like rap, dance, and classical. I always tell girls that I like classical music too. And she goes, classical, she was making fun of me, she was joking about it, and I took it in a very responsive way, not reactive. I didn't get all reactive and be like, oh, why are you making fun of classical music? I just laughed along with her and like, yeah, it's a little weird, isn't it? And she's like, yeah, and then we were just joking about, I don't know what I said exactly, but I played along with whatever she was saying, and then throughout the day, she was joking about it, and I would just be like, damn, you're never gonna let this go, are you? And she was like, nope. And I was like, and we just laugh. It wasn't serious, but that's my authentic self. And she tests me a little bit to see, do I fold under pressure when she jokes with me? Because these are just jokes. And at the end of the day, girls are gonna mess with you and they're gonna test you a little bit. And it's a lot of the time it's lighthearted. And how I always play it off is I always just laugh with them. I don't take it seriously. I don't let it bother me, and it doesn't really bother me. But you want to develop being your authentic self, telling girls the things that you genuinely find interesting. Now, the only contrary point to this is if you're a bit of a geek like I was. If the things that you do on a daily basis, when I was 18, is smoke weed, work out, hang out with your boys, watch porn, and watch TV, that's not a good thing to tell girls. But now, like, one of the things I'll do is I'll throw on some classical music occasionally when I journal. So when I say that, they're like, oh, well, when do you like listen to classical music? I say, when I'm journaling. And then they're like, oh, you journal. And then it's even more authentic, and I'm portraying good habits that are green flags, good things that girls want to hear. I'm not saying, oh, well, I listen to it when I play video games. They'll be like, all right, this fucking guy's a loser. Girls don't want to be with losers. So that's the only thing, is that if you're not doing the good habits and you're not becoming the best version of yourself, then yeah, maybe stay away from telling girls maybe that you're a big video gamer or whatever. That's the only advice I would give you. And then presence. This is going to be cultivated through meditation, through journaling, through really having high self-awareness. When you're very present in the moment and you don't have thoughts coming into your mind, distracting you, and you can just sit down, look at a girl in her eyes, listen to everything she's saying, and respond very intelligently and appropriately, this is going to take you so far. You don't want to have thoughts in your mind distracting you. You're thinking about this, that. No, you just want to be able to sit down, have a great interaction with a girl. Don't be on your phone. All these things kind of take away from your presence. And your thoughts is going to be one of the biggest things. So it's going to be cultivated through meditation and journaling. If you do those two things, you will cultivate presence that girls will really appreciate, and it's just gonna make you a different person. Now, empathy. Empathy is so important. Being able to feel what other people are feeling. So there's two kinds of empathy. There's like the thinking empathy, and then there's visceral empathy. So I'll give you an example. One time, not to bring up like smoking weed with my boys, but when I was smoking weed with my boy, we were hanging out. This was about when I was 18, and we like knew every car that the other person liked. We knew everything about the other person because we would just smoke. We'd have the same conversations about the gym, cars, girls, even though we didn't get any. And when we would say things, we could literally finish each other's sentences. That's actually a form of empathy, of knowing someone so deeply you know what they're thinking. Now, the other kind is visceral. This is feeling empathy. It's kind of like when you just can pick up on someone's vibe and you can just feel how they feel in that moment and you can respond accordingly. This is really important. This ties into that emotional, social intelligence, charisma, and communication. So it is very important. Don't let this be on the bottom and say that, oh, it's not that important, because it is. If you really cultivate empathy, and once again, this is going to come through doing the things that allow you to have presence and personal mastery. This is how you're going to cultivate that empathy, first by learning yourself. How do you expect to know other people if you don't even know yourself? So this is really important. This helps you just be in tune with people. It's like saying the right thing. You're not going to say the right thing if you don't have empathy, if you don't have personal mastery, if you don't have emotional and social intelligence, charisma, communication. Do you see how it all ties in? All of these skills tie into one another in some way, shape, or form. The most obvious link we've just gone through, but these other things, they all tie in one way or another. Like for confidence, there's assertiveness, there's authenticity. They all intertwine. This should just be something that you're trying to cultivate, and the way to do this is going to be through holistic self-improvement combined with real-world experience. That is the way that I teach. And if you want to be like me, I have a lot of guys that I'm coaching that are in the comments, oh, how do I be like you? It's a combination of personal mastery through doing holistic self-improvement. Every day I start my mornings off with reading for about 45 minutes to an hour, meditation, gratitude journaling. I'm currently doing an ice bath and sauna because it's cold in the ocean. And I love doing ice baths and saunas when I can. And then I go to the gym. And that's how I start my day. It's through personal mastery, and then I work on my coaching business, YouTube. And then it's also a combination of real life experience. Every weekend, I'm taking every opportunity I have to go out and be social and talk to girls, as many girls as I can. Doing this over 3 years has allowed me to talk to thousands and really develop these skills in the real world, because I was one of those kids who was kind of dumb. Like, I actually didn't have any issues, but I was just socially dumb. Like, I really didn't understand girls. I was kind of just out of tune with everything, and this caused me to not have any success. But developing all these skills has allowed me to climb to the top, and every single one of you can do the exact same thing. You just have to be willing to put in the effort for it. It's just how it is. Now, once again, I'm giving you my confidence transformation guide, being that this is the most important thing, and you're going to develop a lot of these skills by following what's in this guide. So if you want to be like me, I always hear this all the time, pick up this confidence transformation guide, start following the steps that I teach, and you too will start to have this sort of success with girls. Now that's all for the video, boys. I hope you guys got some value out of it. Go ahead and pick up that confidence transformation guide. See you in the next one.